Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Infinite Series Marvel's Black Cat. I think of all the figures from the new Marvel Infinite series, Black Cat seemed like the hardest. In fact, from what I've heard, Black Cat and the variant Sandman seem to be the hardest figures to find from this series. Black Cat, I hope, translates well from a bigger figure down to a smaller figure. I only, unfortunately, could find one of these, and it was actually at Walmart. There's a certain Walmart that I go to, and it seems like it has a pretty good selection, and it surprises me where I could go there, and out of the blue, they'll have the harder to find figures. So it's not always a great selection in Canada, but I was happy that I was able to find Black Cat in local retail and not had to rely on eBay to pick her up. Because it probably would have been this, mucho dinero. She is carded in the same back card as all the other figures. There's nothing different between them. In fact, there is Mjolnir, there's the shield of Captain America, or the star of Captain America, there's Iron Man, and then there's Hulk. Funny enough, none of those figures are actually in this series, which is kind of not really a ha-ha moment, but there you go. Speaking of the back of the package, Read Up Quickly says, Black Cat prowls rooftops, jinxing enemies and slashing them with her claws. Other characters are Big Time Spider-Man, the alternate Sandman, which is funny enough that they showed there, and the classic Beast in blue. To check out more from Marvel, go to www.marvel.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're getting a better look at Marvel Infinite Series, Marvel's Black Cat. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. One of Spot's biggest worries when it came to a Black Cat, or really for that matter, a female figure in an Infinite Series release, was that she was going to be extremely skinny, lanky, and frail. I can pleasantly say, though, she doesn't feel like that at all. The joints feel extremely tight, and though while she does have a lot of articulation both in the knees and feet and everything else that I'll show you in a second, yeah, she feels pretty complete. She doesn't feel flimsy and frail. By a comparison to, say, well, let's bring in another one that we've already looked at. There's Big Time Spider-Man. Black Cat is shorter than Spider-Man. She could be like a little bit taller. I don't know why she is as short as she is. Let's straighten out the legs. Give it a proper measurement. See, she could be still a little bit taller than what she is. I feel like she is too short, but that's just my prerogative. I still love this Spider-Man. Moving him out of the way. Face, actually something else I was really worried about. I mean, for face that small, I just thought it was going to look like a dog's breakfast, and it doesn't look like a dog's breakfast. It doesn't even look like a cat's breakfast or an owl's breakfast. Face is pretty clean. The eyes are done well. The paint in the eyes done very cleanly. Even like the mouth areas. It's a very clean looking figure for how small the figure is. She's got a choker. The fur on the costume is done nice. She's even got an area on the suits where there's a painted in zipper. It's the finer, smaller details like that that you can really appreciate. She still has the fur on the sides of the arms there, and the sculpt on the hair is really cleanly done. I guess the hair does hinder slightly a little bit of the movement in the head. I mean, when you start moving the head, it starts hitting all the areas of the hair and it really obstructs it. But for the most part, really happy with the figure. She does have one open hand on this side right here, although she doesn't come with any sort of accessories. A whip, something, even a gun, I don't know. Something could have come with her as opposed to just getting the bare minimum. And that's one thing that's consistent, I feel, with the smaller 3 3/4 inch figures. Those figures, for the price that they're charging for these, and this figure probably was about, I'd say $12, $13. They could have come with a display stand. You're teased by the fact that they have a peg hole on the undersides of their feet, and they don't come with any sort of accessories. So you consider that versus the likes of a G.I. Joe. And I use G.I. Joe because G.I. Joe's, you get a display stand, you get a multitude of weapons and accessories, generally for a little bit less than the likes of a Marvel Universe or Marvel Infinite Series figure. So that kind of puts things, that's where I gauge pricing. When you get a 3 3/4 inch figure and they can't give you accessories or a display stand, but an equally priced figure and sometimes cheaper figure can give you all the accessories, then you really start wondering, well, why can't you give us something with a black cat? At any rate, in the way of her articulation, her head does move, again, slightly difficult, slightly hindered by the hair, but it still moves left and right, up and down on that ball joint. Shoulders are also on a ball hinge joint. They rotate out, rotate all the way around. She also has a forward bend, rotation in the elbow area there. She doesn't have any waist swivel. It's all just one solid piece here. But then legs go forward and back via a nice ball joint in the thigh area. She has a double bend at the knee, and she finally has the ball and hinge joint, also a pivot point in the ankle. I don't know, maybe they might eventually release like, Marvel Legends, Marvel Infinite Series display stands. Maybe they could go that route. But this figure, I mean, as well as like the Spider-Man, as well as the other figures, really cry for a display stand. Why they can't just give us display stands for these. At any rate, Black Cat turned out great. Very pleasantly surprised. I feel as if this figure had been released initially as a Marvel Universe figure, I feel like she would have been a train wreck. Somehow, though, her in Marvel Universe, Marvel Infinite Series format, figure does things very well. And the one thing that really was going to be my worry was the face. The face doesn't look bad at all. In fact, a very pretty face that could have easily been scaled up to a Marvel Legends scale and still been really good. Black Cat, I'm going to give her a 9.5. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Marvel Infinite Series, Marvel's Black Cat. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. Certainly stay tuned. Spot's going to have more videos, of course, heading your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.